Hey, what's up, gang? Thanks for checking in with Moochie. Today I'm going to be doing an oil change on a 2012 Polaris Sportsman 500 HO model. Um, the oil that I'm using is Valvoline 4-stroke 1040. I think it calls for 1050 or something, but it's still 4-stroke wet clutch oil. I got a K&N oil filter, part number KN303. And before you get started with this, you want to start the engine, let it run a little bit and get warm. That way the oil drains a whole lot easier for you. And then on this Polaris model, you got the filler here. You go away and crack that off. Take that off, and then you got a drain plug here. Get in here and hit this drain plug. I'm using a 14mm to start the draining on that. I've already cranked the motor up and let it run for a little bit. Go ahead and get that draining. Look on into that, man. There's some buildup on into this. End of that. This bike has been sitting for quite a long time. I mean, it's in really good condition, but the owner of it let the bike sit for a long time, so it's got some crud in there. It's actually got fuel in the oil, so that's why I'm doing an oil change on it. I cleaned the carburetor out, got it running, so we'll go to the other side. There's another drain plug over here. All right, now it may be a little hard to see, but this is on the right side of the motor. But if you can kind of, let me see, look in there. It's gonna be really hard to see. But in there on this side, there's going to be a 14mm bolt in there, a drain plug. So there's a 14mm drain plug in there. But if you look online, it's going to reference you to a 9/16. I found that 9/16 to be really loose and almost stripped. So I went with a 14 to loosen that one up to get it to drain on this side. All right, so I've got this side draining. I didn't really record it. There's not a whole lot of room to get in there. Like I said, you have to use a 14mm to get in there. Right there. 14mm, get that to drain, and you get ready to refill it. This is the drain plug from the right side. I'm not sure if it's magnetic, but there's nothing on there, so crush washer looks good. So we'll just let it drain a little bit and then throw that back in there. All right, I got the drain plug back in on the passenger side. I'll go ahead and throw this one back in. I'm about to clean the tip off a little bit. Clean the tip off with a rag. Got some of that gooey stuff off of it. Go ahead and reinstall it. I'm not sure if there's any torque specs on it. Ain't gonna really bother me. I just make sure it's tight. Don't use an impact or anything like that, or else you will have some problems. So tighten that back down with a 14. All right, so the tool that I'm using to get this old oil filter off, just an old Harbor Freight oil filter remover. I've actually bought a Polaris oil filter tube. I can't find it. Go figure. So I'm using this one here. This one didn't do nothing but it damaged my filter a little bit. And I'm trying to save it because I got a Collier motor that I want to put it on. So remove that old filter. Well, I think got some turnings on it. That's the old one. And the new one, K&N, comes with a socket on the end. Sometimes those could be a little pain because once the motor gets warmed up pretty good and sealed up, that nut has a potential of stripping and you won't be able to get it off. So they can be good and bad, you know. I like to have that socket on there, but when you go to take it off, you might have to bust a hole in it. So I'll go ahead and get that on there and get back with you. All right, if you've never done one of these before, you want to start by putting a little oil down in your filter. Fill it up. You can either fill it all the way up or just part ways. And then rub a little oil around the seal. That way when you go to tighten it down, that seal will basically just stay in place and it won't damage that seal when you go to tighten it on there. So I got a little oil in there, roll it around a little bit. Probably top it off with just a little tad bit more before I put it on there, but I don't have my GoPro on, so y'all gotta excuse me if I don't get everything on there like I should. So do that, put a little oil around the seal, and if you fill it up too much, you know, it's probably gonna pour out, but we did that quick, fast, in a hurry. And this is a 17mm socket. There's no torque specs that I know of. Just get it tight, don't over tighten it. So, all right, so I went in and threw it in 2 quarts of oil. And for some reason, it seems like it is like really full. But I'm gonna go ahead and start the bike up, let it run for a few minutes, let it sit, and then I'll check it. Yeah, man, hopefully this video was informational. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.